We'll bring you the game tomorrow from 3:30. You know Gareth very well. How do you read his body language?
You know, he looks fresher and he sounds better, and which is good to see. Obviously, listen, he'd be glad just to get out of the group, and will obviously want to improve in the performance. I think there's still a lot of goodwill to Gareth. You know, we know Gary, he's a good guy, but he's under pressure like lots of other managers. He needs more of it. His team needs to improve on their past performances, but they're more than capable of winning tomorrow night and still having a big impact in this competition.
Let's have a look at what we think the team will be. And just to confirm for you, Luke Shaw not considered fit enough for selection. So, Ange, if Kobbie Mainoo is in there, is it third time lucky England have got the right balance in that pivotal position, the two of them there?
Yeah, look, to a certain extent, you know, Gareth mentioned there, you know, coming on in a game is a lot different to starting a game. So that'll be sort of Kobbie's challenge now. But what you have to say is that, now, Gareth went into this tournament with a plan in his head, and he has not shifted from that, you know, irrespective of the clamour for change and throwing in young players. I think he's put faith in a core group of players that have served him very, very well for a long time. And I think that gives that sort of encouragement to the likes of Saka and Kane and Declan Rice, maybe Jude a little bit, but to say, well, we're sticking with you, now's the time, you've got to bring out your best, repay that faith. And now I think it's really up to the players to show that, because you've got to say that Gareth has backed this group of players right through the tournament.
And when you see Mainoo, when he came on, that intensity, that energy, that purpose, it does look as if it could infuse through the team, doesn't it? Who maybe, as a group, need a bit of a lift.
Yeah, you know, we know how good he is on the ball, but what we saw with Kobbie, what he needed, which all of those players need, is the help of the other guys. And I think the movement that Kobbie brought and the control and the way he passed the ball with the movement of Gordon, and the same with Cole Palmer, I thought that all helped them. All of it helped them, and that's what we're going to need. We need everybody to contribute to what's going on. We can't keep saying, oh, what's happened with his form? Everybody has to contribute.
I think Gareth is very loyal to his players, but also for young men who, when these players come in, when they get an opportunity, you have to take it and make sure you stay in that team.
Well, he's taken it at Manchester United. Here's his chance to do so with his country, of course. Let's talk about Jude Bellingham. He said it in there, Gareth, Ian. Oh, you know, he's playing, you know, false nine for Real Madrid. That's not strictly true, is it? Only for the first part of the season, actually. Second part, he played in the sort of left-hand side of a diamond, and his goal-scoring record showed that commensurate drop-off.
Yeah, he had a little drop. Remember, like he said as well, how old he is. You know, and we know that with younger players, the consistency, one of the things that you know that's going to happen. Everybody was... There's no one that couldn't have been surprised at the impact he had in the league, at how well he done. And there's going to be some form of drop-off. But what you look at, and what you see, I should say, when you look at the way Jude plays, is that he will continue to show for the ball, and he will come up with the key moments. He's come into the tournament with people saying not great form, but he's still in the moment. He came to the fore, and that is what we have to hope for, because that is what he's capable of doing.
He's 21 today, Ange. We mustn't forget that, how inexperienced he is.
Absolutely, and it's funny because, you know, Gareth spoke about outcomes. It seems the barometer for Jude now is goals, and I don't think that's necessarily should be the case. You know, that's one of his great strengths, and certainly that's the impact he made at Real at the start of the year. But he's still learning a lot about midfield play, and he's definitely got the energy. He works hard, as Ian said, he's always showing. But I think there's still elements of that midfield area that he needs to learn, particularly in this England setup. So I don't think the barometer should be just the goals he's scored.
Yeah. I think he sets such high standards. I think he's been off it, obviously, the last 1 or 2 months, but he's still an outstanding player. And the drop-off is only to be expected, 21 years of age. But again, he will still have a big part to play in the next few games.
Absolutely.